The following presentation is a YouTube production.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Hey, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Hey, good morning. Live for you on YouTube today. Hey, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Hey, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou. Live for you on YouTube today. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Of your games, so talking about we didn't need you, we didn't want you. I stood up for you. Now you, oh Uncle Lou, look at this vein in my neck, sir. Mark Fox, pack stuff, get out of Athens. That's it. It's not working out. 9 years is long enough. This so-called experiment, whatever it is, you got these people in Athens tricked into thinking you're a good basketball coach. No, that's it. I've had it. Everybody else has had it. It's time for you to pack your stuff and go, sir. This is getting absolutely ridiculous now. Ridiculous. What are we? We're 1-6 in the last 7 games. We've won 1 game since January 20th. Congratulations. A miracle win over Florida. Whee! Oh my God! Hey, Baltard! Spend another off season talking about that Hail Mary! Whee! Woo! How about him dogs, son? Hey, listen, just like Uncle Lou told you, Georgia too much for the Florida Gators this year. You guys just don't have the Jimmies, or the Joes to keep up with my Georgia Bulldogs. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
I got a question. Now, you said Jake Fromm, Jarrett Stidham is the best quarterback in the country. He's winning the Heisman next year. All right?
Yeah, I heard this last off season too, but go ahead.
Auburn is going 15-0 next year, Lou. And Georgia's going like 8-4 bet. You are so stupid sometimes. You're so ego. You're such a big ego, Lou. You know?
No, I don't know.
Shut your mouth. Sometimes,
explain it to me.
Sometimes you need to let it. I'll explain it to you, Lou. Your head looks like a watermelon.
I'm 40! I'm a man! I'm 40! I'm a man!
Man, listen. When you call up and say, I'm about to roast you, are you ready? You need to be ready, sir. You've had since last Thursday to prepare to call into this show, and this is the best you can do. This is the best you can do. All right, I'm gonna roast you, Lou. You ready? And I hear you, and I can hear you rustling your papers and shit, where you got all your shit written down. You got everything wrote down. You're rustling all your papers. Are you ready, Lou? Are you ready? I'm fixing to roast you, Lou. Are you ready? And then you can hear you rumpling your papers, and you're like, Lou, you have a watermelon head. Hold on a second. Lou, you have a watermelon head. Hold on a second. No, I'm not holding on a second, sir. You've had since last Thursday to figure out what you wanted to say when you called up today, and the best thing you can think of to do is to call up and stutter and drool all over yourself by saying the same watermelon head joke 2 times in a row, rustling around a bunch of papers, and then saying, oh, wait a minute, wait, hold on, wait, Lou. Oh, no, Lou, hold on, no, wait, Lou, while I say this same joke again. Now, are you ready now?
I'm ready now. Are you going to listen to me?
Go.
You look like a freaking watermelon.
That's the same joke. That's the 3rd time now we've heard the same one. Do you have something new, or is it going to be the same watermelon joke again?
Call Lou to be on the show. 706-510-6817. That's 706-510-6817. And now, here is your host, Uncle Lou.
Good morning, it's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I really appreciate it also. And two, welcome to the Uncle Lou Show live, episode 16, I think, episode 16. Yeah, we do this show every Monday and Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. We do this show every Monday and Wednesday at 3. There's a different live show every Tuesday and Thursday night at 10 that's totally different from this one. Make sure you check that one out too. And pointless, random videos posted all throughout the week. Thanks for watching. We're going to get right into it today. Switching it up a little bit today. Instead of waiting until the last half of the show to let you guys call in. You guys can call in anytime you want to. Starting now. 706-510-6817 is the number. If you want to be on the Uncle Lou Show live, argue with me, ask me football questions, tell me how wrong I always am, whatever. You call in, the floor is yours. If I feel like answering, I'll answer, and we'll see how that goes. Shout out to everybody that's already here. I see a lot of y'all in the comment section. David, good morning. Alan, Billy, Ryan. And let's go ahead and take a live look right now. This is something special that I just arranged today. But let's go ahead and take a let's go ahead and take a live look right now into the comment section. Type. Keep up the good work, guys. Anyway, this is the Uncle Lou Show. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Final Four today. If you guys want to talk about the Final Four, call up and let me know what you think. But, of course, we are down to the last four teams. Who is it? Michigan, Villanova, everyone's favorite, Kansas. Yeah. And who's the fourth team? I can't remember who that fourth team is. Who is that fourth team? Oh, yeah, Loyola. What, beat the Vols and knocked them out in the second round, right? Yep, Tennessee Vols still 0 Final Fours in history. Yeah, so good to see they're keeping up the good work there in Knoxville. My pick to win it got eliminated over the weekend. I had picked Duke to win it. They did not win. Yeah, they got beat by Kansas, but that was a hell of a game. Wouldn't surprise me at all now to see Kansas win it. Kansas and Villanova look like the two best teams to me. I'll probably root for Villanova. I'll probably go ahead and go for Villanova. It is, when you don't really care about any of the teams that are left in it, why not root for the underdog, right? So I guess I'll go ahead and I guess I'm going to be pulling for Loyola, but I wouldn't be putting any money on them, although they have looked good. I would probably put my money on Villanova or Kansas. I'm leaning towards Villanova, but Kansas did look good, beating my pick to win it all. The Dukies, yeah. So if you want to talk about that, we can. Call in and let me know. No, yeah, I picked Duke to win it. It was on this show too. Was it the Wednesday before the tournament started, right? Tournament started on a Thursday. Well, they had to play in games before that, but it mainly started on Thursday. And on the Wednesday show before that, I had to pick a winner, and I went with Duke. I'm not a Duke fan. I just I picked them to win it. It is what it is. So Billy's getting mad at me in the comment section. I guess he didn't want me to pick Duke. But we got somebody on the line here. Let's see what they have to say.
More phone calls?
Good morning. You're on with UNCLELOU. Go ahead and tell me how you feel.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, good morning.
What's going on the show, man? How's things going?
Things are going good. Final Four coming up next weekend. Spring practice is in full effect for most football teams around, so pretty good time of year. Masters Week coming up soon. Weather's starting to change. Daylight savings time. Yeah.
Yeah, opening day is this week. Major League Baseball. I know you're not a big baseball fan, but I'm a Braves fan. So
you know what? I did not even know that. I wasn't even aware that this week was opening week. I mean, I am sort of a Braves fan. I of course live in Georgia, grew up here. I've taken my son to a couple of Braves games, but I just really don't follow baseball all that much.
I enjoy it. It's probably my least favorite sport between that basketball and football. It just moves too slow. I mean, I enjoy it, but damn, throw the ball, speed it up, speed the game up. That's what they need to do. They're still playing it like they were playing it 100 years ago. That's the problem.
Yeah, it seems like every year when the baseball season ends, the commissioner and all these people come out and say, well, in the off season, we're going to look at some things and see if we can't figure out some ways to speed the game up. And then you turn around the next season, and it still takes 3.5 hours to play a game. I do enjoy going to the games, and we have a minor league team here too, the Augusta Green Jackets, and I take Lou Jr. to a couple of those games a year, and we've been to a couple of Braves games. So it is one of those things to me that's a lot better in person than it is on TV.
Oh yeah, man. I need to check out the new stadium this year. I didn't even have time to catch a game last year at the new stadium, but from what I hear, it's pretty nice.
It is. It's really nice, and the way they have the outside of the stadium is set up real nice too. You can get up there 3 or 4 hours before the game starts, and there's all kinds of stuff to do outside of the stadium before you ever even step foot inside. I mean, restaurants, all sorts of gift shops. They had bands and stuff playing outside, 3-4 hours before the game started. It's a really nice setup that they have there.
Yeah, it's in a very good area. Obviously, my sister and brother-in-law live about 3 miles from there. So it's a lot better area than where it was at before, obviously, with Turner Field. Can't believe Turner Field was 25 years old, but I don't know. I guess it's just sitting there abandoned now, huh? Are they going to tear it down, or what are they going to do with it?
You know what? I'm not real sure. I went and stayed in Atlanta for a weekend last football season, and we ate at that I can't remember the name of the restaurant now in Atlanta that spins around on the top. We ate up there, and you could see old Turner Field from from that restaurant. And I asked the waiter, I said, "What are they going to do with that thing? Are they going to tear it down? And he had no idea. And so I don't know either. Maybe somebody in the comment section can let us know, but I have no clue.
Don't know. Do you mind if I do a plug for the group?
No, go ahead.
We started and run a little sports group, SEC primarily, on Facebook. It's 100% true SEC fans. Check us out. UNCLELOU's in there once again, and hopefully he'll stay this time.
That's the plan. We'll see.
But that's a coin flip, right? That's a coin flip.
Yeah.
But, God, can you believe it's still 5 months till football season? What are we gonna do between now and then, man?
I don't know. Like every morning I get up, I go to all the usual 24/7 and Saturday Down South and all that to read all the practice reports. I mean, not just from Georgia. I like to read up on the other teams too. I'm interested in the Tua Hurts situation, and it kind of sucks. He hurt his thumb, so I'm guessing Tua's I'm guessing Tua isn't going to play that much during the spring, and that kind of sucks because I was hoping we would get some sort of a clue on which way Saban was headed there.
seen me in the group and elsewhere trolling last year, but I was one of those Alabama fans that said that we would never win a natty with Jalen at quarterback, and we wouldn't have. Georgia had us beat. If we would have kept Jalen in there, we would have lost that game by 3 touchdowns. That being said, Saban made the move, which I think he should have done the weeks before, and we probably wouldn't have lost to Auburn, but it is what it is. I would be shocked, man. I would really be shocked if Jalen won that quarterback battle. I understand Tua's going to be out for a couple of weeks, but of course we got fall ball. They'll come back to practice in August then. But we've got another kid. I don't know if you were aware of that, Derek or Uncle Lou, that we got a kid from East Tennessee, and I've watched some of his highlights, and he's a pretty good passer. He might end up beating Jalen out for the number 2 spot.
That's what I
think we're going to use Jalen as kind of a Tebow. You remember how Florida used Tebow as a freshman?
Yeah.
We're going to have a package for him, kind of a third and shorter or goal line situation with Jalen.
Yeah, I mean, because he can run the ball. I mean, there's no question about it. Other than Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts was probably the best running quarterback in football over the last couple of years. He just was never able to develop into enough of a passer to come from behind, which is what, of course, happened in the Natty game. Now, usually Bama's never behind, especially behind 2 or 3 scores. I mean, that was an unusual situation. But is there any chance Hurts would move to a different position, or is that totally out of the realm of possibility?
Well, from what I'm hearing from folks down at the athletic department and on staff is no. Were they want to keep him as a quarterback? I mean, people say, well, look where Jalen got us. Well, yes and no. Would other quarterbacks not got us in that same position with our talent and our defense? But, I mean, Jalen started, close to 30 games now, and one thing that he has mastered, he was kind of a game manager to where he didn't turn the ball over. I think he only had 1 pick last year. And ultimately, too, is probably going to make some mistakes. He's got a hell of a lot more upside than Jalen did, which we saw in the Natty, and I saw in practice in spring game last year, and the Under Armour game that summer. But no, to answer your question, I just don't see it. I think Jalen will start as a second string. Now, if they let him and the kid that transferred from East Tennessee battle it out, I think he might edge out Jalen for the second spot, and then you might see something else. But we're just so loaded everywhere else, man. At running back, wide receiver, tight end, where would we put him,
Yeah, we feel so sorry for y'all being loaded like that at every position. We really feel bad for you.
Well, hey, now you guys are starting to get that way. Probably the most dynamic recruiting class I've ever seen in my lifetime anyway. Now, what you're going to face is what Alabama has faced for years. Is like Saban and Kirby has said, the tough part is not necessarily getting there, it's staying there. Now, next year when you're recruiting against Alabama and Florida and all these other schools, they're going to pull out the old depth chart like they did with Alabama for years now and say, well, God, they're too deep at this position. They got freshmen that's going to be starters there next year. When are you going to play? And that's when you know how good a recruiter Kirby is to try to overcome that depth chart that all those assistant coaches are going to put down on the coffee table when they go to make these visits with these kids.
Yeah. Well, we got a couple more weeks of spring practice to look forward to, and then of course a spring game. But like you said, I mean, from the time those spring game ends till the middle of August or something, when you really start getting ready for it to start, it just seems like that drags on, and it just seems like, I mean, that's like the longest 2 or 3 months of the whole year to me. Is that 2 or 3 months leading up to football? I mean, luckily it's during summertime, so I'll take a couple of vacations probably, and my kids will be out of school, so we'll be doing some stuff with them, and that helps a little with the time to go by, but it just drags and drags.
Oh, it does, man. Dog days of summer, and it's 110 degrees outside with the heat index, and like you said, the baseball games take 3 to 4 hours, and I'll just be watching a Braves game and just jump up and throw the remote after they've already taking 10 minutes in between pitches and basically just say, will you throw the damn ball? Please throw the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
When is G-Day? I can't even, I don't even have A-Day in front of me. When is G-Day?
April 21st.
All right.
So we still got about a month to go.
I wonder if Alabama's the same day.
Most of them that I've looked at in the SEC are either on the 14th or the 21st.
Let me see here. Yes, it announced it, but I don't have it in front of me. April 21st. Yeah, what time's your game? Ours is at 1 o'clock Central.
Ours is at 4 Eastern, so after y'all's.
Okay, we'll be on ESPN or something?
It'll either be on ESPN or SEC Network. I'm not. If y'all's is at 1 and ours is at 4, then ESPN might show both of those back to back.
Well, I got to ask you a couple quick questions, and I'll jump off here. I know you got other people that's a lot more interesting to talk to than myself. All right. Every time I say this, you or other Georgia fans kind of give me heck about it. I really, really, really feel like Dan Mullen is going to do a very good job in Florida. You cannot argue with what he did at Mississippi State, although in the big games he did flop. I'll give you that. But look at what he did with the talent and the facilities and the history and tradition and all that in Starkville that you don't have. And then you put him down in Gainesville. I really expect him to end up having a great career there in Florida. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not completely sold on it yet for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think Dan Mullen is an average to below average coach unless he has an elite quarterback. And Florida ain't got none. I mean, let's just be real. They signed one, but who knows? With a freshman, you never know what you're getting. And the other thing is, I think Mississippi State right now is more talented than Florida. Now, Dan Mullen will get Florida where they need to be talent-wise, and then we'll see if he can start beating some 10-win teams. If he can beat Georgia, if he can beat the teams from the West every year, that sort of thing. But I don't expect him to do that much this year. He has to have an elite quarterback, and I just don't think they have one.
Right. And I'm not necessarily, I'm talking about long-term. And
yeah.
What Kirby did there at Georgia his first 2 years is awesome. It's unbelievable. And like I said, I don't have any hate for Georgia, being an Alabama fan. We're not a rivalry. Georgia's rivalries are pretty much, Florida, Auburn, Tennessee. But I think we might be meeting each other the next few years here in Atlanta. Who knows? Like I said, we laid an egg in Auburn this year and ended up having to backdoor our way into the playoffs. But one more thing, South Carolina and Will Muschamp, and I know that I'm sure you laugh out loud every time I mention it. I really think that Muschamp is a good fit at South Carolina and Columbia because he's just not expected to do a whole lot there. And you can't argue with the fact that Muschamp knows how to recruit defensive guys. I mean, even though Florida had no offense the last few years with him and with McElwain, look at who he recruited defensively. He got 2 of the top 5 defensive linemen in junior college that committed to him this year. And right now, he did walk into a good situation with Connor Shaw being the quarterback again. That's going to be the key is if Muschamp can get a different offensive coordinator there and continue to recruit quarterbacks there because ultimately, he's always going to have a top 20 defense in my mind. And I think South Carolina could compete with Georgia this year for the East.
I'm probably gonna end up picking South Carolina to finish second in the East again. I agree with you on everything you said about South Carolina. As much as I dog on him and ride Muschamp, he was overwhelmed at Florida for a variety of reasons. He was trying to learn on the job at a place that expects you to win the East every single year. And he got behind the 8 ball offensively down there, and he was never able to get out from behind it. But you can't deny what he did defensively there. And Florida lived off of Muschamp's defense for the first 2 years under McElwain until the wheels fell off last year. And I think South Carolina can win 9 or 10 games this year. I really do. I don't think they have the depth to go 11 or 12 wins. I think they're going to lose to Georgia and Clemson, obviously. And some Carolina fans get upset when I say that, but that's not to say that a team is likely to lose to Clemson and Georgia is not really putting a team down at this point. I mean, you're talking about 2 top 5 teams there in Georgia and Clemson. But I think Carolina can beat Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Florida. They might be able to go 2-0 against the West. Their schedule is kind of favorable with who they get from the West this year, so we'll see. But under no circumstances do I see them beating Georgia or South Carolina. So I would put their ceiling at 10 wins, and I'm not sure if I trust Muschamp to win every single game he's supposed to win. So if I was a betting man, 9-3 and second in the East, and I think South Carolina fans should be happy about that, and they shouldn't be taking that as an insult. Some do, but that's a compliment to South Carolina. I mean, a perennial basement dweller in the SEC. Let's just be real, and they have to beat Kentucky this year. They've lost 4 in a row to Kentucky. You can't lose to Kentucky every year and be taken seriously. You just can't.
Yeah, and that's something I don't get, but Kentucky's definitely got their number. I mean, and there was no doubt South Carolina was a better team last year.
Yeah.
But when they play Kentucky, man, it's just
sometimes that happens. I mean, look at Florida and Kentucky last year. Kentucky was a better team. Kentucky had them at home. Kentucky had them beat. And mental errors. I mean, they're sending 10 men out on defense and not even covering Florida wide receivers, and they get 2 wide-open touchdowns. I mean, Kentucky outplayed Florida. They were the better team and still found a way to lose the game for the 35th year in a row or whatever it was. And it looks like that's what's going on with South Carolina and Kentucky. South Carolina was clearly a better team than Kentucky last year. I know they missed Deebo Samuel. I think that was the game he got hurt in, actually. But still, South Carolina is more talented. They should be able to overcome one injury and beat a Kentucky. So, I don't know. I'll keep an eye on that game this year, but I expect South Carolina to do well this year.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking 9-3 as well. And he hit the nail on the head. Muschamp always has one game that he should win, and the team just doesn't even show up. I don't know what the deal is with that. But, all right, what's your thoughts on Alabama in the West next year?
I think Alabama will win the West. I mean, I've been saying for a couple of years now, I'm not picking anybody in the West other than Alabama until Saban's gone. I mean, are you going to have an odd year like last year where Bama doesn't win the West? Sure, of course you are. They're not going to win it 10, 15, 20 years in a row. But Saban's going to win the West way more times than he loses it. I'm concerned about Auburn's offensive line. They're clearly the second best team in the West, in my opinion. Huge drop-off after that. I don't think there's any there might not even be any top 25 teams in the West outside of Auburn and Alabama. But Auburn's got to replace a ton on the offensive line. They've got no running backs, and even if they find one running back doesn't do Auburn any good because he gets hurt every November, and then they blame that on why they can't beat Georgia and Alabama. So, and I'm not a believer in Malzahn either. I'm not. So I got to go with Alabama in the West this year. It's hard for me to pick a team to go undefeated because it's just so hard to do. So when I do my official predictions in the summer, I'll probably pick Alabama to go 11-1. But it's not because I expect them to lose a game. It's just because you never know what's going to happen. A team can trip up. You just never know. It's hard to go undefeated, but I think they'll win the West, and it'll be Georgia and Alabama and Atlanta.
All right, my 2 flops this year, my 2 absolute flops where I think people are going to go full Vanderbilt or full Tennessee, what they did last year, and that's Tennessee once again in the East and LSU in the West. I don't see either one of those teams winning more than 7 games this year.
I'm definitely with you on Tennessee. Their schedule is absolutely brutal. I mean, they open with West Virginia. That's a top 15 team. They're not winning that game. I'm sorry. Jeremy Pruitt's not beating West Virginia in his first game as a head coach. West Virginia's got that quarterback that used to do cocaine at Florida, Will Grier, and he's going to light Tennessee up. I mean, he might throw for 500 yards in that game. They're going to get murdered. Then Tennessee plays 2 high school teams. They'll win those. They'll be 2-1. But their first 5 SEC games are Florida, Auburn, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina. Where's a win there? I don't see one.
And my thing is, I really think Jeremy Pruitt is a very good recruiter. You know, we've had him here twice now in Tuscaloosa, and he's been a great recruiter everywhere he's went. But that colossal just dumpster fire there in Knoxville with everything that happened this year, and then with all season with the screw-ups with the coaching hires and the fans going ballistic with the fact that Gruden didn't come on board. And let's face it, that had as much to do with it as the fact that old boy used to coach at Penn State.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. They were pissed off and triggered that they didn't get the man that they wanted.
That's it.
And one thing that a lot of people don't know about Jeremy Pruitt, he's kind of a hothead.
Oh, I know that about him. He got drunk and tried to fight Mark Rick in the front yard.
Yeah, he's very temperamental, and I'm very curious to how he's going to react to this season coming up with the media and the fans in Knoxville.
Yeah,
it can really turn out to be a damn mess.
And he's never been on a losing team. He's never been on a losing team. He wins 10, 11, 12 games a year at Bama, 10, 11, 12 games at Florida State, 10, 11, 12 games when he was at Georgia. He's never been on a 5 or 6 win team like he's fixing to be on this year. So I'm very interested to see how he handles that.
Yeah.
But all right, hey, I gotta go. The trolls in the comment section are crying that I'm spending too much time with one person. So I'm gonna let you go. But I really appreciate the call, though, Bert. And,
hey, absolutely. Thanks, Uncle Lou. Have a good one, buddy.
You too. I'll see you in the group. Yeah, he runs that SEC group that I'm all the time talking about, 100% true SEC fans. You people are mad in the comment section because I guess you think I spent too much time on the phone with him, but the guy was actually talking football and knew what he was talking about, not like a lot of y'all who just call up and breathe into the phone. Another live look into the comment section. Type. And we'll go more phone calls. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Uncle Lou, it's Big C. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Just another day in paradise.
I hear you.
Been trying to get on your show for a couple of weeks. So how's the Tennessee fans loving that Pruitt and the disaster that's going to be their season this year?
Well, you can't. I mean, they're optimistic, and you can't really blame them. I mean, 0-8 last year in the SEC, 4 wins. You know, they're on their 4th coach in 8 years or something. You can't. I mean, it's hard to imagine it getting any worse. So I don't blame them for being optimistic. But you know, some of them who think they're winning the East or even winning 9 or 10 games, I mean, they're just setting themselves up for disappointment. You got to have realistic expectations. There's not a whole lot of talent up there, in my opinion. Jeremy Pruitt's never been a head coach before, so Pruitt's probably gonna lose you a game or two. Kirby Smart lost Georgia a game or two his first year. Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech, you can put those games on coaching our first year. Doesn't mean Kirby Smart's a bad coach, but you know, you're going to have some bumps in the road as a first-time head coach. So I don't know. I think if Tennessee can get bowl eligible, that would be a successful season, but I'm not sure the fans are going to be happy with that.
Yeah, well, I know their fans are used to a lot more due to their history. I almost feel bad for them. People like BVD that have stuck around that are just die-hard that are going to wait until they finally get better. I kind of feel bad for people like that.
Yeah, it's been a rough road the last 10 years or so for Tennessee fans, no doubt about it. But it's been entertaining for me.
Yeah, it has been. Good on the trash-talking world to talk some garbage with them. But it feels like a strange thing with who's the second-best team in the East now? South Carolina? Never thought that would be a thing.
I know. It seems weird. I mean, they finished second last year. I think they have a great chance of finishing second again this year. And, I mean, that hasn't happened very many times at South Carolina. I know Spurrier had 2 or 3 11-win seasons in a row, won the East one of those years. So I'm sure he finished second at least another one of those years, maybe both of those other years. But other than that, I can't think of a time when South Carolina's ever finished second twice in a row in the East. So, I mean, that would be a successful season for South Carolina, no matter how you look at it.
Oh, absolutely. They used to them them being, a warm-up game for the rest of the season. And then, I guess Spurrier did a pretty good job when we still had Rick as a coach. Didn't he get us like 4 out of 6 years or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool to watch. I hope those days are behind us, but.
Yeah. Spurrier was in Carolina for 11 years, and Georgia was 6-5. So we had a winning record against Spurrier at South Carolina, but he beat us more consistently than any other coach they've ever had.
Oh yeah, Spurrier had a pure hatred for Georgia ever since he was in college.
No doubt.
He made it show, and he earned his keep, I believe.
Yeah, Georgia fans will never forget when he hung 50 points on them in Athens. They were remodeling that stadium in Jacksonville, and they played a home and home. Georgia and Florida did. And the year that Florida came up to Athens, and they whipped us, and he scored a late touchdown just so he could get 50 points, which made it that much sweeter that his last year at South Carolina, we hung 52 on him and absolutely destroyed South Carolina. 52-14, I think it was, or 52-20, something like that. I mean, we just absolutely destroyed them. So we got our revenge. It didn't come against Florida, but it came against Spurrier, and it was pretty sweet.
That it was. I still go watch the highlights of that sometimes just to smile.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you get back to your show, but I appreciate you taking my call, Uncle Lou. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks for calling in.
Have a good morning.
I appreciate it. Appreciate that call. Expectations. And a couple people have mentioned that already, and I wanted to talk about that today anyway. Some are realistic and some aren't. You look at Alabama. I think Alabama and Clemson are probably the only two teams in America who realistically should have expectations of making the college football playoff every year. Teams like South Carolina, even Georgia, I don't think that's a realistic expectation to have. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good.
Oh, good.
Did you see any of Vanderbilt's spring game this Saturday?
I did not. How'd they look?
I was in Nashville for it. Our run defense looked good. Our pass defense looked abysmal.
Your pass offense?
Pass defense.
Oh,
looked
defense.
abysmal.
Okay. Yeah. Well, your pass defense was going up against a pretty good passing offense, so I don't know. You still got time to work that out, but I don't know. What about the running back situation at Vanderbilt? How are y'all going to replace Ralph Webb? I mean, I don't think you can replace him. He's probably the best running back he is the best running back y'all have ever had. But how do the new running backs look?
We kind of have Wakefield is kind of similar to Sonny Michel. Like, he's an all-purpose back, not really a power back. But we got a power back from Illinois that transferred. So in 8 games, he had over 1,000 yards rushing. So I think that's kind of good.
Yeah. So what are your expectations or goals for Vanderbilt this year? Obviously, I think Vanderbilt's at the point now where they should expect to at least make a bowl game, right?
Yeah, my high ceiling was 8-4, 9-3, and I think we should at least have 7 wins.
Yeah. Do you happen to know which two teams you play from the West? I know you played Alabama last year. Do you happen to know?
We play Ole Miss every year. And this year's in Nashville, so we play at Arkansas.
I could see you going 2-0 there if things go well for Vandy, but at a minimum that should be 1-1. I mean, those aren't two elite teams.
So I'm in some of the same Facebook groups that you're in, and I've just some people have been sharing an article with me that the SEC Country made about the top 10 SEC QBs, and Sherman made 9, and I can't even believe that list that they made. That list is so bizarre. They had what's the running QB at Alabama? Jalen Hurts at number 1, and then Stidham at 2. which I thought was ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Any list that has Jalen Hurts on the top of it is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, someone shared that with me, and I was like, this list is garbage. They had a Ole Miss QB who played 4 games ranked higher than Shermer because he went 2-2.
I like Shermer. I'm a believer in Shermer. Shermer's not going to lose you any games. Is he going to have a Hall of Fame career in the NFL? No, but he's a good college quarterback. He's in the top half of quarterbacks in the SEC. I mean, he's better than any quarterback Florida has. He's better than any quarterback Arkansas has. He's better than
quarterback.
Yeah. He's top half of the SEC easily. Whatever problems Vanderbilt has, it's not at the quarterback position.
Yeah, last year it was just our run defense because we couldn't stop anyone running the ball. So then people just ran all over us, and someone tried to outscore everybody.
Right. Yeah. And I mean that's hard to do. And y'all are a little undersized on the line, so that hurts you against powerful running teams like Georgia and Alabama. I mean, Georgia and Alabama just kind of manhandled you last year.
Points on us. It wasn't you were like a scrimmage score.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, Vanderbilt has been better. I would say over the last few years, Vanderbilt has been a better team than the Vanderbilt that most of us are used to seeing. I think you guys have struck gold with your last two coaches. I mean, obviously James Franklin is an elite level coach, top 10 in all of college football without question, and you could argue maybe top 5. But I think Derek Mason, there was a lot of pressure on Derek Mason coming in to replace James Franklin after the success that he had at Vanderbilt. And although he hasn't quite lived up to the hype that Franklin created there, he's put together some pretty good seasons at Vanderbilt. And I would think Vanderbilt fans would be pretty happy with Derek Mason.
Most of us would. It's like the problem that most people were like, oh, Vandy's back to being how they were the first season under Mason because he kept the whole staff and wanted to see how they did. Our whole staff was terrible. And the reason why is because a lot of the recruits that Franklin brought in that year went to Penn State.
Yeah.
They went with Penn State instead of going to Vandy.
Right.
It wasn't until his first draft class that we actually got, like, who we were looking for. Ralph Webb was actually part of Franklin's recruiting class, his last recruiting class at Vandy, which I thought was kind of cool. So that's where we got him from. And then Sherman was Mason's first recruiting class.
Yeah.
So,
Do y'all always play y'all spring game this early?
I think we do because it's harder for us to get TV time, and ours is not really a – Mason kind of changed it. It's not really a spring game. It's more of like a spring showcase. Like, you get to see everyone practice, and it's really offense versus defense. Because a couple of years ago, I think it was under Franklin, like, one of the best safeties in the SEC played for Vandy, and in that spring game where they played, like, a full out, he tore his ACL in the game.
Oh, okay.
So I think that was to avoid, like, catastrophic injuries like that.
Yeah. Well, now you get to sit back and watch the rest of the teams play their spring games here over the next few weeks.
Yeah. To me, Vandy winning 7 games would actually be really good right now for us. And I think the games that are winnable is 3 of our 4 non-con games. They're based mainly against lesser Power 5 schools. The only one that I said we're going to lose is Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That's probably like – and then I'd say we'd go 2-0 in the West. Both those teams are kind of abysmal and trash right now. And then I would say probably beat Tennessee again, and then you could go 1-1 with Kentucky and Florida.
If y'all beat Tennessee again, that would put y'all beating Tennessee 5 out of the last 7 years, and that's not that's not an anomaly. I mean, at that point, it's already a pattern. I mean, you beat them 4 out of 6. That's not luck or an anomaly. That's a pattern. Right now, Vanderbilt is a better football program than Tennessee by any standard or measurement, and honestly, it's not close right now.
Tennessee fans hate to hear it.
Oh, they don't. No, they don't want to hear it. But the reality is, Tennessee is the third or fourth best team in their state. Memphis would house Tennessee. But anyway, thanks for the call. Yeah, checking in, keeping us up to date on Vanderbilt there, which is important because I was really wondering about Vandy. So glad we got a call there to let us know what's going on up there in Nash Vegas. Yeah, in Tennessee. Let's see. Live look in on the comment section. Type. More phone calls? Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou. Why don't you go ahead and tell me how you feel?
Man, what's up, Uncle Lou? It's your 5-star caller Ryan down in the comment section, baby.
What's up?
Man, hey, this conversation or this phone call is going to be a little different than the usual phone calls I do have with you. Usually it's about, statistical stuff, facts, some opinions, whatever. But, man, it's mainly about this comment section you got today, buddy. They are something fierce down there today, boy. I'll tell you what.
Well, the trolls
man, first, I'm going to go ahead and
are undefeated.
Stop
trolling me!
Not to you or anything, but just to, talk to them. Man, David, I'm going to go ahead and give David his 15 minutes of fame, baby. David talking all that crap, man. Hey, you ain't no 5-star caller like I am, son. You don't call up here every day. First of all, man, you talking all that crap about Bama, he's got his false and all that. But, hey, baby, you got a picture of LSU, so I'm assuming you're an LSU fan, which means, well, it's equivalent of toilet paper being wiped between my ass cheeks because your program has been transferred the past 6-7 years, man. Come on, man. Don't be talking. Let me tell you something, bro. You ain't about to come up there and do all this knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone bull crap. No. Heck no. And then the other dude, the other guy, Big C, whatever. Big C, man, you ain't no 5-star caller either, brother. You've been trying to get on here. I don't even know who you are, but hey, you gonna get some of my rap today. And I'm sorry for it, but it's gotta happen. You ain't no 5-star, man. The only person that I fully believe that can talk trash in the comment section is Allen. That's the only man that I know that can talk trash and I'll let get away with. Other than that, man, y'all got me something fierce, boy. I tell you what, Uncle Lou, this is bull crap, man. They done got me, oh my God. And I don't even know, I went out drinking Saturday. I went out drinking with, with my brother, and man, I don't know if I'm still hungover from Saturday or what, but they got me mad in that comment section, Lou.
Well, hey, listen, this is a great call, And listen, if anytime somebody's irritating you in the comment section, the best thing to do is to call in to the Uncle Lou Show and let them have it. And, sir, you are, without a doubt, a 5-star caller.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know I am. And matter of fact, man, I'm going to be calling in more. You know why?
Why is that?
I quit my job, Uncle Lou. I quit my job just so I could focus more on this. I actually did
Well,
quit my job.
I think that's great.
Well, I mean, I ain't really making money, but I mean, other than that, everything is shipped and sold, yes. But I'll tell you what, them people in the comment section, besides Allen's the only one I like down there. And there was one Bama fan I done forgot. His name was Penny or something. I don't know. He was cool. But Allen's a cool Georgia fan. You're a cool Georgia fan. I love talking trash. I will talk trash. But other than that, they talking something stupid, man. I mean, even though I'm on this little rant, I know the trolls will still be undefeated. And they definitely are undefeated for getting me this amped up. I mean, I ain't never let somebody
Stop
get me
trolling me!
Ridiculous, man.
I hear you. This was a great call, and who knows? Maybe David wants to call in and respond.
Hey, let me tell you that. Hey, David, if you're a 5-star caller, you gonna call in right now after I get off this phone. And Lou, please answer, because I want to hear what this man has to say, or woman. Hey, it's 2017. They got these transgenders. They got every type. They come in all types of creeds. I tell you what. But hey, if you're a 5-star, you ain't. Matter of fact, you a 4.5 star. David is a 4.5 star. I'm a 5-star caller. I run this for call on. I call every day, every time. I I'm a loyal Uncle Lou fan. David, you ain't nothing, man. Go back to Baton Rouge. You know, don't try to tell me you another fan. You an LSU fan, man. I seen your picture. I seen it, man. You can't. LSU is trash, man. Your program's trash. Matter of fact, I've been to Baton Rouge before, and you know what it smells like? It smells like tiger piss. It smells like straight up piss. It smells like urine. Wash up and clean up your program. It's ridiculous.
He ain't a corn dog, is he? David ain't a corn dog, is he?
A what?
A corn dog.
A corn dog or a horn dog?
A corn. An LSU corn dog, is he?
Well, I have no idea. I don't know that man's life.
He says he's gonna call in. He says he's gonna call in, so I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for the call. Yeah, that was the 5-star caller, and wow, he was fired up today, and I don't know if anybody can top that today. I'm sure I'm sure somebody will try, but I don't know. And David, buddy, I'm not sure what you did to piss him off or whatever, but he was all kinds of riled up today, wasn't he? And now David in the comment section now like this: type. Oh my God, that was good. Anyway, let's see who's up next here. More phone calls? Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Yo, guys, what's up? I'm back again. I'm calling in before David. Whoever that redneck was on the other line, you're really freaking annoying, dude. You need to shut the hell up. I'm a 5-star caller, not you. And all right, listen, Lou. Listen to me.
Is this the ultimate troll?
Listen to me?
Is this the ultimate troll?
I'm not a troll. Lou, I love you.
I know,
Lou,
but don't
I'm
you
not a troll.
Right, but don't you usually call in and say this is the ultimate troll?
Stop trolling me!
I'm not a troll, Lou. I swear to you, I'm not a troll.
Okay.
I'm not. I just like messing with you, Lou, because I love you. Not in a gay way, though. Well, you can take it that way. But anyway, I want to talk about that Mark Fox video you put before the live. Take it down now. It's really offending me. Take it down. Can you take that down, please?
Yes.
Please. Like, do it right now. Do it right now.
I'm not going to do it right now.
Oh, come on, man.
I can't take it down right now.
Mark Fox is the best. I don't understand why you fired Mark. I still can't get. Why would you fire him? That's unbelievable.
Well, hey, go online and get you a Colorado State hat. Get you a Colorado State hat, sir.
I'm not going to wear no dang Colorado State. No, not happening.
That's where your hero Mark Fox is.
Mark Fox.
Guess who's out there with him?
Mark Fox is my hero.
Mike Bobo's out there too.
He is.
Mike Bobo's out there
believe you
too, running the
fired him.
football program. So you got a bunch of Georgia leftovers
for sure.
out at Colorado State in the mountains smoking some of that sticky icky. And not doing a very good job of coaching. Too much weed smoking, too much snowboarding and tubbing or tubing, whatever it's called, and not enough coaching.
I don't care, Lou. I don't care. Mark Fox, he's amazing. I don't understand. What was wrong with Mark Fox? What did he do wrong? What did he do to offend you, Lou?
He lost. Way too many games. He
lost what?
He was there 9 years and didn't win a single NCAA tournament game, sir. Can you name me one other Power 5 coach in America who's been at a school for 9 years and hasn't won a single NCAA tournament game?
It's okay, Lou. It's okay.
It's not okay.
Game the next year. It's all good.
Yeah, next year.
Yes,
Yeah, the 10th year is the charm.
Yes.
Whee! All he needed was 9 more years. Hey, Bobby Bowden didn't win a national title at Florida State until his 18th year. Every coach should get 18 years no matter how sorry they are. The only coach that's been fired anywhere in the last 10 years that should have been given 18 years was Derek friggin' Dooley.
Yeah,
and Mark Fox. At least Mark Fox was winning at least 8 games a year. Derek Dooley won like 2 games a year.
Derek Dooley never got shut out at home like the intern.
Oh, yeah, you want to know something else? Mark Fox never blew a 20-7 lead in the 4th quarter of the national championship. I'm gay. Goodbye.
I do like it when he calls in, but I do not understand ending the phone call every single time with, I'm gay, bye. I don't understand that, but he is entertaining. He is entertaining. More phone calls? Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning,
Hey, good morning.
Good afternoon.
Hey.
So my question for you is, I'm a Georgia fan. Do you think we'll finish #1 recruiting again? What's the hot stop we're off to already?
I do think Georgia will finish #1 in recruiting again in 2019. Yes.
Yeah, because right now we have the #1 class again. We got Nolan Smith. We got Jordan Hazelwood. We're off to a really great start.
Yeah, most of the people that I don't follow recruiting that closely, but I have a couple of people that I rely on, and I take them at their word, and they've been telling me for 2 years that the 2019 class would be the best class that Georgia ever signs. Now, after seeing what we did in 2018, I'm not sure if 2019 can live up to that, but I do believe those guys that we're going to have the #1 class, and it's going to be another great class. I do believe that. I'm not sure if we can top 2018.
Yeah, I don't think we can top off the signing of Justin Fields. I'm telling you, he's going to be great in the next 2 to 3 years leading our offense. Once Jake Fromm goes and Justin Fields goes, the offense is going to be unstoppable.
I agree. It's going to give defensive coaches nightmares. I think both guys are going to play. Obviously, I think Fromm will start and play the majority of games, but I think Fromm will play in every game early and often, not just mop-up duty. I think they'll put him in the first half of games and let him play, and then coaches are going to see that, and they're going to have to spend time every week preparing for 2 totally different styles of quarterback. I think it's a nightmare for opposing defenses.
Well, it was great talking to you. I really like your show. I've been a subscriber to you for over a year. Keep it up, buddy.
All right, I appreciate the call, and thank you for the kind words also, and in addition to that. Hey, S. Glover, this is you right now. Type. Lou, South Carolina, Lou, South Carolina is not a third world country, Lou. I'm mad, Lou. South Carolina is not a third world country, Lou. It is not a third world country, Lou! It is a third world country, sir. It is a third world country. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Uncle Lou, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, sir.
It's the ultimate troll, bro.
Well, that's great news. That's great news.
Stop trolling me!
A little bit because I couldn't get through. And, I've tried like 3 days in a row, and, I can't get through. So, I'm glad I got through to talk to the watermelon.
Man, me too. Did you catch the beginning of the show today?
Do what?
Did you catch the beginning of the show today?
No, I didn't. What happened at the beginning of the show?
Make sure when this video uploads to YouTube that you go ahead and watch the beginning of today's show, especially the intro. And you need to watch the entire intro, sir.
Is it about me, Lou?
You need to watch the entire intro, sir.
Stop trolling me!
Well, I want to talk about a few things today.
All right, I'm ready.
All right? Okay. Well, first of all, I need to shout out David from the comment section. He wanted me to roast you real quick. He gave me a great roast to use on you. So, your glasses are really small, your head's really small, and your hat makes your head look really, really fucking small.
So, last week I had a watermelon head. This week my head is really, really small.
Mm-hmm.
So is it like one of those small watermelons?
I don't know. David just wanted me to do it. But
okay.
That was David's roast. Okay, so I just had to shout him out on that.
Okay.
But anyway, I want to talk about that situation going on in Georgia where apparently some athletic trainer was, I guess, videoing kids in the bathroom. Okay?
Okay.
At Auburn, I'm an Auburn fan. We don't do things like this. I mean, I think Georgia should be penalized for this.
And what do you think should happen?
I think, I think at least a few scholarships taken away for that. I mean,
do you think the guy should be arrested? Or do you think Georgia should cover it up?
You broke up.
Do you think Georgia should cover it up? Do you think Georgia should cover it up, or do you think Georgia should turn the guy in and have him arrested?
I think Georgia should be penalized for what happened.
What about individual responsibility, sir?
When it's
Are you a snowflake, sir? Are you a snowflake, sir?
Do what?
Are you a snowflake?
I'm not a snowflake. I voted for Donald Trump. You're the one who got mad at that live stream the other day because somebody said
Trump believes in personal responsibility, sir.
Okay, look. Well,
it's that equipment manager's fault, sir. Listen, football programs don't spy on people. People spy on people.
Uncle Lou, Georgia should be penalized. Take these scholarships.
The only way Georgia should be penalized is if they hid this and covered up for 25 years, like at Penn State, sir.
Boy, who knows? You might be buying recruits.
And we might not, sir.
Well, yeah. Well, anyway, Uncle Lou, I'm working in my house. Hey, one thing though, can you make it a little easier to get on your show or something? Email me because it's kind of hard getting on your show, and you need me. You do need me.
Would you like me to give you the hotline number, sir?
I would. That would be great.
All right, email me later, and I'll give you the hotline number.
All right, great, Uncle Lou. I'll talk to you later, bro.
Thanks for the call. This was great and well worth the wait. Thank you.
Stop trolling me!
That's gonna do it for today's show. I'm all trolled out for today. Plus Lou Jr. soccer practice tonight. Yep. Good morning. Morning. Lou Jr. soccer practice tonight. So, but anyway, thanks to everybody that watched. Thanks to everybody in the comment section, including the trolls. Thanks for, tell them good morning, Lou Jr.
Good morning.
Huh?
Good morning.
Yeah, Lou Jr. tells you good morning there. You just got home from school? Mm-hmm. Okay. How was it?
Good.
Yeah? How's Violet?
Good.
Oh, that's his girlfriend. What? I didn't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget we do this every Monday and Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern. Also have a live show Tuesday and Thursday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern, totally different than this one. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. And pointless, barely watchable videos posted at indiscriminate times throughout the week that make little to no sense. Any parting words for these people? Huh?
No.
What's the Trolls record?
Undefeated.
He tells you undefeated there.
Stop trolling me!
All right. Stop trolling me!